maybe we could start with you introducing yourself a little bit, just who you are, where you come from, and how long did you ski?
Yes, first of all, thanks for having me. I'm very happy to be your interview partner. I'm Magnus Walch and I'm from Austria, originally from Lech, Adelberg. By the way, great ski resort. So if you haven't been there, come there to ski. And I used to be a ski racer for 10 years as a professional. Before that, I was at school in Bad Hofgestein, so also ski racing there. But after school, I was a professional for 10 years and I stopped 3 years ago now. Yeah.
Okay. And as a kid, was it always your big goal to become a ski racer, or did that develop over time?
I'd say that goal developed pretty early in my childhood, actually. Yeah. So, yeah, being born in a ski resort and having the slopes just outside the front door. Of course, I started skiing very early, and our ski club, the Ski Club Alberg, really did a lot for us, for the kids, for just to go skiing, to go training, and yeah, we kind of got into it pretty early, and the goal to be a Olympic medalist or Olympic gold medalist was raised pretty early. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. And you've mentioned that 3 years ago you quit skiing. What was the key factor that led to that decision that you stopped skiing?
Yeah, that's actually a good question. One of the main factors was that I didn't get the support of the national team anymore. So that didn't mean I was not on the team, but that was not the big issue. I was the last 2 years I was racing. I also trained and raced with a private team with Team Global Racing, so I financed everything myself. I was not on the national team in those years, but I remember the day pretty much the last race of the season, Austrian Championships, when I actually got the title, which was very, very cool for me. But the coaches from the national team came up to me, said, with your age, we expect you to be somewhere else already, and you will not get not a spot in the team, of course, but also not a chance to qualify for World Cup next season. And that was, kind of, I lost my perspective, of course, because when there is a goal that is not achievable because of certain circumstances, then it's tough. But I thought about it, of course. It was not the day that I decided to stop ski racing. It was more of a process after that. And I thought, do I think I can make it even without the support of the Austrian team, and how can I make it? But I was honest to myself and said, I think it's time to say goodbye to ski racing. And this was actually the key factor. If I'm honest, it was probably still the right time, and the decision of the national team made it for me maybe easier to say goodbye. So it was, as I was a real fanatic, it was always tough for me to say one day, so this was it for me, the ski racing.
Yeah.
So maybe that was a key factor, but also helped me actually to make the decision.
Yeah. But did you, after the win in the national championships, you said, right? Was it for you actually clear that you're back in the team, or that you will be probably having possibilities to be in the World Cup? And was it a huge, like, what? They don't take me, or, yeah?
It was not a big surprise. I kind of knew that I would not be on the team, and that was something that I expected. But I expected that I would even get a chance to continue ski racing, to compete in World Cup. So that was definitely a setback, and I needed time to think about that, and of course also talk to my coaches and friends, family, mental coach, yeah, it was kind of a long process then to make the final decision.
Yeah. Okay, and after you did the final decision, how was it? How did you feel like? Could you straight away move on and were like, okay, that's it, next chapter? Or was it also a process for you to accept it and to move on?
Yeah, so it was a process until I made the decision for myself, I'd say. And then it was a process until I made it official. That also took quite a lot of time because I wanted to talk to everyone. I wanted to talk to my family and friends and sponsors and everyone who supported me at that time. And yeah, also that was a process which was not easy because telling my friends and families and supporters that I will skip ski racing was also not a easy step. And yeah, honestly, the real time when I made it official, like with a social media post, that was for me like a cut when I said, yeah, this is it now. This is now it becomes real, you know, when everyone knows it.
Yeah.
And I had mixed feeling of on the one side, I was sad about that the time as a ski race, as an active ski race, is over. But on the other side, I even felt some kind of freedom a bit and a lot of tension released, and yeah, was curious also, motivated for new challenges. So it was really mixed feelings, I'd say.
Okay. And how did your journey continue then after you stopped, you made the social media post? How were your next steps in like job wise, life wise?
Yeah. I decided pretty quick that I want to study something, but I was also sure that I don't want to be a full-time student with my age. I was 29, 20, 28, 29 then. And yeah, I was looking for something that really motivates me, you know, a job that is almost as fulfilling as ski racing. This is something, the goal I had when I stopped, that I find something that almost fulfills me as much as ski racing did. And I was pretty sure that I find it within weeks, and I know my new job, and I'm motivated to do it. But yeah, it was kind of hard to find something, honestly, because yeah, ski racing is something that, or professional sports in general, is something that is just different to normal life, to normal work life, because you dedicate every minute, every second of your life to the sport, to your goals, and you wake up in the morning and you think, what am I going to do now to get better? And you go to bed and think, what did I do to get better? And yeah, this is really something that changed. I woke up first morning after my decision to quit, or after I made it official, and was like, so I don't have to do anything for my sportive goal today. So this is something that feels new. It's kind of an interesting feeling, really.
Yeah.
However, many people came up to me actually and asked me, "I do want to work for me. I have this job. I have this job." So I was surprised within the first weeks how many people really came up to me and asked me from different branches. Of course, many ski teams asked me if I want to start as a coach, but that was nothing that was really motivating me at that time. But also from other branches, journalists asked me if I would like to start writing for them, and this is something I also started then, which was fun for quite a lot of months and years. And I started ski testing with Völkel, which was really cool, or which is really cool, which is something I really do now with a lot of motivation, and which is really cool, and which is also keeping me closer to my favorite sport. And Yeah, I then had still contact with my mental coach I was working with during my career, and talked to him about my feelings after my career end, and also told him about that I really want to find something that 100% fulfills me. And he said then, yeah, give yourself time. This is not something that happens within the first month or even years, and just give yourself time to find what you really want to do now. And that was tough for me in the beginning, honestly, because I didn't want to have such a phase where I actually don't have this big goal in front of me.
Or this drive to get better in something, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it was nothing that really motivated me to work, or no big overarching goal, I'd say. And yeah, it took me some time until I said, okay, I have 3 years now where I'm studying, and I just try out different things besides studying. It's nothing that has to be my job. I do until the end of my life.
Yeah.
But just to find what I like, what was cool, what I could really do for years. And this is what I actually did the last 3 years. I tried out many different jobs, projects, and got a lot of experience as well in those 3 years. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And would you say you, after those 3 years, found something which fulfills you, or a direction where you want to go and you know, okay, this could be something I definitely see myself?
Not 100% yet, but it got definitely clearer. So it took me 3 years to get a kind of vision where how my dream job could look like.
Mm-hmm.
It's still not 100% there, but it's getting closer. And what I have to say, it's still something that has to do with sports. So just because, yeah, this is what I love. This is what fulfills me, and I'm not someone who can sit in the office 5 days a week, 8 hours a day. Yeah. At the moment, I can't imagine doing that. Yeah.
Yeah, but that sounds good. I'm happy for you to hear that. One question, you already mentioned that you were still, after your career, also continuing working with your mental coach. Person you could talk openly about your feelings, or were there also other people you could talk about your feelings and you felt understood also?
Yeah, definitely. It was my mental coach. It was my girlfriend as well, my family, my brother, and also some friends who recently stopped ski racing, actually. Friends from Team Global Racing who stopped a year ago before me, for example. And yeah, talking with those people really helped me to make the transition, actually, yeah. Because I saw, yeah, they can be happy without ski racing, and that was important to talk to.
Yeah, definitely. Did the way you think about skiing and sports and your diet in general, did it change after skiing? Because I can say for myself, after I quit skiing, I kind of had a time where I didn't want to have to do anything with skiing anymore because I thought this will help me to recover from it. Was this similar, or was it for you like straight away next winter, I want to go skiing because this is my biggest hobby?
Yeah, skiing was honestly still a huge part of my life, or it is still. And it makes a lot of fun skiing now. So I enjoyed skiing when I was an athlete 100%. I enjoyed skiing in gates, skiing on slopes, skiing off-piste. But now, free skiing without thinking about any technical things, about being fast or good looking or anything, that is just freedom and fun. And this is the essence of skiing, when you don't have to think how it looks, how fast it is. If you just rip turns down the slopes, and if you go off-piste and ski there, worry, is it good for my skiing technique in gates or not, what I'm doing here? It's really just enjoying the sport itself, and yeah, I'm really happy that I can do that, because I also have friends stopped ski racing, and they did not ski for a single day last season, and it is kind of sad when the big love in the sport stops with the career, and yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Did you ever reconsider your decision? Like after you quit, was there ever a moment where you're like, maybe I shouldn't have quit, or was this once it was over and on social media it was over for you?
I was 100% sure that I will reconsider my decision. And I was 100% sure that I will miss ski racing so bad. But I was really surprised that there was not a single situation actually where I reconsidered my decision. I don't know why actually.
But it's
Honestly,
great.
Yeah, it's great. Really.
You don't have to question that.
Yeah, but it's something that feels very good. Maybe, of course, I also thought about that and said, yeah, I. Some factors helped me probably. It was the fact that I won my last race as a being Austrian GS champion.
Yeah.
Helped me to like have a nice and successful end of my career. It was probably also that someone else helped me to make the decision. It was the national team coaches
Yeah.
that kind of helped me to make the decision. And it was also that I did not quit several years before, because yeah, if I would have quit 4 or 5 years ago, before that, everyone would have understood it as well, because there were many seasons after which I said, yeah, I could quit now, but I still said to myself, I love ski racing so much that I just want to try again, and it felt like that I really did everything and tried everything, and I think that helped me to not reconsider my decision.
Yeah, that makes sense. And what was the hard part for you to, because now you said, yeah, you had moments where you could have stopped already, but what was the reason also not to stop? Was it the love for skiing, or like now when you think back, what is it that you miss most of like from competitive skiing?
Yeah, there are a lot of things actually I miss, and one very tough thought when I quit skiing was I'm gonna lose all my friends, because all my friends are ski racers. I spent so many years with them, and I just had the fear that I lose the contact, I lose my friends, and that was something I was anxious about that, yeah. And I'm very happy that I still have contact with some of my skiing friends, and they became really good friends, and I'm happy that I didn't lose my friends as I thought, yeah.
Yeah.
That's something very important. Of course, I also I miss the whole lifestyle, the traveling, the being together with friends, working for this goal together, being on a team. This is something different to normal working life, and this is something I sometimes miss, definitely.
Yeah.
But I also miss the emotions. Of course, I have emotions now. I have fun when I'm skiing. I have fun when I'm riding a bike or play tennis or go hiking or meet friends. All great emotions, and definitely less bad emotions now after skiing, of course.
Yeah.
However, the emotions are not on the same level, I'd say. It's in professional sports, emotions are just so much more intense. It's hard to describe that, but the up and downs, they're just way more up and way more down
Yeah.
in professional sports and ski racing, and in normal life it's, yeah, you're more or less in a comfort zone. Of course, sometimes it's up and sometimes it's down, and I'm happy I didn't have any major downs in my life since I stopped ski racing, and I'm sure once I get kids or anything, that will also be a very, very positive feeling. But in general, it's less intense, the life, I would say.
Yeah. I can definitely agree on that. Yeah. And like you just mentioned a couple of other sports you do for fun as hobbies, like hiking and tennis and whatsoever. How would you say is your competitive drive with that?
Good question. I would say I can now really enjoy the sport I do, and do not need the competitiveness of the sport. When I play tennis, if I lose, I don't care really. It's like, it's not something that I'm like, why did I lose? I want to win next time. It's more that, I had fun, and that is the most important thing. And however, when we ride a bike together with friends, and we push each other, and we go up a hill. Of course, you want to be the best. This is, I think, something pretty normal, but I don't care so much if I'm the best and then. So I'm still competitive, I'd say, but I'm less concerned about the outcome of my performance. Yeah.
Okay. It definitely doesn't bother you so much.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. That is good.
It's not that I think about it for a week. Why didn't I succeed in the last tennis match?
Okay, that is good. How did you handle because I imagine that a lot of people might have asked you after your decision to quit, like, hey, how are you, and what are you gonna do with your life now, and so on and so on. How was it for you to answer all those questions and talk about your the end of your skiing career? Was this like with hard feelings, or could you speak openly about it and be proud of yourself, what you've achieved?
Yeah, it was. Sometimes I was proud of it, and sometimes I was looking back very, very happy, and was not a big issue for me to talk about that. And sometimes I was like, yeah, especially when people were like, oh, the bad Austrian team, they don't give you any more chances, and why you could have achieved so much more without, like this. That was not easy for me, because it was not just once, it was several times when people came up to me and said that to me, and I was kind of, I didn't want to hear it anymore. I had actually a really good time as a ski racer. I enjoyed it so much. I appreciate what I experienced in that time, and I don't want to look back with bad feelings, and this is something that was kind of desperate.
Yeah, that makes sense. If you think about your life now, are there any like hurdles or daily problems you would say, okay, that definitely goes back from when I used to ski, like reactions you have or actions you take, that you're like, oh, I probably react like this because I used to be a competitive skier or a professional skier, which is bothering you nowadays?
Yeah, good question. One thing is that as a ski racer, you mainly have things in your own hands. You're not. Of course, you have coaches and decision makers about spots for a qualification or whatever, but most of the time you work for yourself and your goal, and you have everything in your own hands. And now in normal life, it's just dependent on so many people, you know. Um, if your teammates now do not work with the same effort, with the same motivation, um, I just don't get it, you know. I'm like, why? This is your job. You should be motivated for that. I want to have the same effort as I put in this work, and um, yeah, this is sometimes tough. And working with people who do not show almost the same effort as I do is tough for me, honestly. Yeah, it's something that is hard, and maybe it's something also that was also a problem as ski already, but now as well, some kind of patience as well when yeah, things just take way longer to progress than um, back when I was a skier, or just a stupid example. For example, when I call a physiotherapist and ask, do you have a can I come this afternoon for a therapy? And he said, or she says nowadays, she says, yeah, with the next possibility in 2 weeks. I'm like, what? As a skier, I had the chance to get it within two hours, or with doctor's agreement, something like that. So
that's true. Yeah.
You have less priority now than an athlete, I think. I'd say, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Would you say there was anything missing for you after you've stopped? Like, would you have wished for like something to be there to help you continue with normal life? Like, did you have all the life skills you needed to continue like a completely new life? Have you been prepared for it?
Question, yeah. I think I would say ski racing prepared me pretty well for my normal life, actually, or maybe even better than anything else, any studies or any work experience, because yeah, just think back of an article I wrote for Ski Racing magazine, which I called "What Ski Racing Taught Me: A Declaration of Love to Ski Racing," and I really took my time back then and wrote down everything I thought ski racing taught me, and that was quite a lot. It was quite a lot, and it was so fun for me to engage with that process, to think about, actually gained a lot of skills during my career,
Yeah,
so
that's true.
I would say actually it was rather positive than negative. I was actually prepared pretty well for my life. Except one thing, maybe also relates to the question before, what I have a hard time, or I got better in the last 3 years, but at the beginning especially, lying on the couch and doing nothing, you know?
Yes.
Or just relaxing. This is something I had really troubles with, and that was tough for me, just to do nothing, just to relax a day. Of course we had days off as a skier, but day off was a day off to recover your body. You knew why you do it, and it had sense, you know. A day off had sense, and now when you give yourself time to relax, it no sense for me, you know. It's kind of,
I want to do something.
I could do something else, but to enjoy that time off and that relaxing took me some time to learn that.
Yeah, true. One question, you just mentioned already that you that you did some writing already, like journalism. I think I know the answer already, but do you consider yourself self-reflected?
I would say yes. I think a lot about, maybe that was something that even hindered me from being more successful in ski racing. I don't know, hard to say, but I would say I question my behavior, my thoughts, think about what I did, if that was right or wrong, was good or not. And I even think that this is a self-reflection is a very important task and skill. And if more people had that, I think we would have a lot more peace in the world, and the world would definitely be better if people would be more self-reflective.
Definitely.
I would say I reflect a lot, and I'm someone who does a lot of self-reflection.
Yeah, and that's why probably you also straight away knew, I mean, even though it took 2-3 years for you to figure out, okay, what is the job that will fulfill me, but you knew already, okay, you want something which gives you fulfillment and which gives you motivation, because that is something you want to have in life. And I think that's already something very important to know, because that is already a direction.
At least a direction, that's right, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Even though it was very, very open, it was also funny. A mental coach I worked with before, so not the one I worked with in the last years, but before, he gave me a task where I had to write down how I see myself with the age of 50 and how I look back on my life. And I wrote a first text, and he came up to me and said, make it a bit more concrete, not that open. And I said to the text again and rewrote it and said, make it more concrete, just make it more concrete. It's very, very open. And that was really, really hard for me. It was about what am I doing after my career and how do I see myself at that time. And I was so unsure what I want to do. I was sure I want to be happy, of course. I want to have something that fulfills me and something I'm motivated. I want to have a job where I go to work every day and it doesn't feel like work, but it's just, enjoyment and something that I'm really burning for. But I couldn't say in which branch, which sector, if it was finance, if it was production, farming, skiing, I had no idea. And that opened my eyes actually already during my career, that I don't even have a clue what else motivates me besides skiing. And that it got better in the last 3 years, but it was still the same situation after when I quit skiing.
Yeah, I think that is the big, or one of the issues a lot of people might have, is that during the career we don't really think about what will happen next. And I mean, I can just say it from my own experience, and I never really wanted to think too much what else would be fulfilling for me, because I wanted to have my full focus on skiing, that job I do right now. So I think that might be the problem, or the difficulties after skiing, because we never really thought about it.
Absolutely. And as you said, similar situation for me. I didn't want it to engage in that thoughts, you know. What is after skiing is after skiing, not now. I want to have my focus on full on skiing, and every thought, what could I do after skiing, is like the first thought to skiing could end at one day. And
exactly.
Something I just didn't want it to have. I had, when my mental coach gave me that exercise, I was like, no, I don't want to do that. I want to live right now and don't think about what happens after my career. Looking back now, I would say we should definitely allow us to think about what's coming up after ski racing. This is nothing that distracts us from our daily work.
Definitely.
It's just normal thoughts. Everyone can allow themselves to think about it.
I was thinking about that also for quite a while, and the thing is, if skiing is really your thing and this is all you want to do, it doesn't matter what else you're thinking, or you can still have a hobby you like, and you can still, I don't know, even study something next to skiing, because it will not put your like level of skiing lower or your priorities. You will still prioritize skiing, of course, or your sport. But yeah, I was thinking about it also a lot, and I think that would be also something I would give to other people, that be open to everything, because you will know your priorities anyways. You will feel where you get like drawn to, and yeah, definitely
Absolutely.
on the same page. Yeah.
100% agree. And it's yeah, most of the time probably as an athlete you think, I want to give 100% for my sport and I want to dedicate all my energy into the sport. But what is 100%? You know, what is 100% sometimes means that 10% of these 100% have to be something different to be successful in your sport, you know?
Yeah.
And 100% doesn't mean being in summer in the gym from 8 to 5 and not doing anything else beside that. Maybe your body would actually work much better if you do something else, and your brain, your mind would work way better if you do something else. So
yeah, it
I
would
think
probably
yeah, as an athlete, it's tough to distinguish between 100% and 100%, you know, and
yeah, true.
yeah. But as an athlete, you're really in a tunnel.
Yeah.
This is what I can
Exactly.
say. And even when I was an athlete, and athletes who stopped came up to me and said, "Hey, take it a bit easier. You don't have to work out that much. Give yourself some time to rest," or I don't know what. I was like, yeah, like you don't know what you're talking. You're not an athlete anymore. But I was a full fanatic, you know, and I would now say to everyone, yes, you can allow yourself to get some rest, to do something different as well. And as you said, you know your priorities, and as long as you know them, you're gonna be in a great way to be a good skier or sportsman or woman.
That's true. And probably it's sometimes also good, like you said already, to rest your mind a little bit. Because if you're the whole day thinking about skiing, okay, how can I get better? What can I do better the next training? And so on and so on. You're overthinking and overthinking and overthinking, and sometimes you're stuck. And that is something I also realized, that sometimes putting like those thoughts a bit away and enjoying yourself and giving your thoughts a bit of a rest will help you so much more in your skiing career as well. Because then when you think about skiing, you're to 100% focused again.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Totally agree.
Yeah. Well, we can give it to our kids.
Exactly, yeah.
I have one more question about the quitting skiing, which is, would you say that it harmed your self-confidence once you've quit?
Kind of. You're in a different position then, I'd say. You kind of start from zero again. What you build over the last, in my case, 10 years, does not really count anymore. You start from zero again, and yeah, I'm still the ex-ski racer for 1, 2, 3 years. So when someone asked me, what are you doing? I still, nowadays not, but until last year, so for sure 2 years ago, for 2 years, I still said I'm former professional ski racer, and I didn't say I'm a student or I'm a journalist or something else. So I really thought still that I'm an ex-ski racer, former ski racer, not anyone else. And now it got easier for me to accept that I'm not a ski racer anymore and not an ex-ski racer, but I have different qualities and different how do you say, different meanings in life, different values that count for you, or maybe the same values, but just different tasks you do. And it took me some time to get over the identification process.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard to describe that, but I really identified with being a ski racer and former ski racer for a long time, and getting this new identity, not being the ski racer anymore, definitely took me time. Yeah, and it was, I wouldn't say it was really bad for my self-confidence, or I had less self-confidence, but I had to find a new way to identify. Yeah, I'd say.
Yeah. Would you say you now found also hobbies, hobbies which are not related to like sports and skiing anymore, which identify yourself which identify yourself as well with?
Um, yeah, hobbies definitely. I still like to do a lot of sports, but
Yeah.
I'm not doing it for any reason, just because I like it, because I have fun. Also like to do photography, so this is something that I didn't have time, or didn't take my time during my career to do that. This is something I like, and I really like cooking as well, and good food in general. So this is I as a ski racer, you really look what you eat, look about, have thoughts about your diet, and now it's more. I still eat very, very healthy, really, but yeah, if I eat a cake or two or something like that, I just enjoy it now, and
Yeah.
I don't have bad thoughts, and yeah, I can say even I do a lot of sports, and that sports are my hobbies. They have a different meaning in my life now. It's not that I do it for a goal. It's not work. Um, Riding a road bike is not work now, but just fun.
Yeah. Good. All right, I have two more questions, which is if you have any advice for people who are in a transition right now, who just recently stopped and they're now getting into this normal life, could you give any advice?
I would say be patient. Give yourself time to reflect, to think, to find out what you like, to find out what fulfills you, so that you don't hurry to find something right away, what you will do as a job, and look back very thankful to what you had as a ski racer, but be aware of what else is nice in life and what else makes fun in life. And also maybe, like you do it now, talk about your thoughts and your feelings, and try to find people who are in the same situation or were in the same situation and talk with them. That could be very, very helpful and motivating.
Nice. And is there anything you want to ask me?
Yes. So, just very, very quick, maybe in general, how do you feel after ski racing?
For me, I had a lot of ups and downs, I would say. I pushed away a lot in the first 2-3 years, until every now and then I got triggered when people asked me about my past, and so on and so on. So every now and then I got triggered and I felt really bad, and I was like, oh damn, it's still in my head. How can this not go away? How can I not accept my situation that I'm not a ski racer anymore? Until actually last year, when a friend of mine visited me in Tenerife, where I live now. During that time she was still a skier, and we talked about it, and I've realized, okay, I'm definitely not over it yet, and that was almost 4 years later. And that was the time when I started to, okay, I really have to change something and I have to go through this, because otherwise this won't just go away. And that's when it started, like this whole last year, that I worked a lot on myself. I started self-reflecting. Before, I never really did it deeply. Like, I knew what are my values and where I want to be in life. I also always thought I want to have something fulfilling and motivating and exciting in my life, but I couldn't find it. But I wasn't open for it. That was my big problem. I was not open for anything new. And yeah, until that time, and I started working with a therapist as well, which helped me a lot. And yeah, just being open about it and talking about my feelings was something which really changed something. And nowadays, since I really got into this whole project I'm doing now, that was when it really, really changed something and gave me a new motivation that I want to also help others in that situation. Because it doesn't have to take 5 years or 4 years to be open for something new. And yeah, nowadays, like now, I can say that I can look back and I can say it was an amazing time and I've learned so much from skiing. And I'm happy again. And
that's cool. That's great to hear.
Yeah, but it took me those last 5 years. There was always something which didn't allow me to say I'm really happy. It always felt like something's missing. I don't feel to 100% happy. But yeah, this whole process of opening up, talking to different people and therapists, and yeah, just being open about it, helped me a lot, that I can say now that I'm actually good again and ready to move on with whatever is coming next.
Nice, that's great to hear.
Yeah.
Cool. Do you still enjoy skiing actually?
That was also a long journey.
Okay.
Like I said before, or mentioned already, that for me, the first 2 years after I quit skiing, I didn't want to ski at all. Which is super ironic, because it's something we did our whole lives, which I was also super fanatic, and it was everything for me. And then from one to another day, I didn't want to have anything to do with it anymore, and it kind of felt like I wanted to erase my whole past, because it was so painful for me to think about it. So I didn't go skiing for around 2 years, until I actually met my boyfriend, who always wanted to go snowboarding. He's a snowboarder. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go with you, like me with skis and him with snowboard. But he was actually the one bringing me back on the slope, I would say. Mm-hmm. And when I was on my skis, I always enjoyed it, and it was always kind of like, oh, it's so much fun, I like to do this more often. But then on the other side, it was like, oh, but I'm so sad that I cannot do this anymore, like properly, like as my job. So it was always kind of happy but kind of sad about it. And yeah, when my friend was here last year and we started talking about it, and I started to opening up, that was the first time again this year that I had my flight ticket for beginning or end of January this year, and I even rebooked it to come home earlier so I can go skiing more often. So yeah, I would say from like the beginning of this year, I'm super excited to ski again, and next winter I'm gonna be also home for the whole winter to ski a lot. So now I'm super excited again. Thank God.
Great. Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool. And one more question. I have one more question.
Yeah.
Do you think that there is something in life that will give you and me and anyone else the same fulfillment as ski racing did?
That is a very good question, and I was struggling with that question for a long time as well. I think it's very hard to find the same kind of fulfillment again, because ski, or in general a competitive sport, has so many different sides. Like on one side it has this adrenaline you get and those crazy emotions, how you've described it before. Yeah, and like something you worked as a kid, like for years, you have one goal and you work for that one goal, and every time you make a step further, it's like super fulfilling and you're proud of yourself. I'm not sure if there is anything I could ever compare it with. But what I've realized for myself, what I really need in life is being excited for things, and not, probably also sometimes not knowing what's gonna happen, like this, I don't know, this feeling, yeah, this feeling of excitement, and okay, I want to achieve this because something else is gonna happen afterwards. That's something I really need, and I've realized that if I have that feeling, it does get me going, and it does give me the drive of getting better and better and motivated again. Yeah, not sure if we could ever compare skiing or our sports to whichever comes, but just because we did it for so many years and we started as kids, and it is basically super inside of us. Like we grew up with skiing. It's kind of in our identity. It will probably always be part of our identity. But I'm convinced that everybody else can find something else which fulfills you and which gives you joy. And I think we have to see it like this, that our childhood, youth years were an amazing experience, and not everybody has even the possibility to do all those things. And everything that comes is also great, and that's how life is. We like live in phases, I guess. Yeah.
I agree, absolutely, yeah. So I accept that there is nothing that I can compare with e-racing, but as you said, there are many things that can give us fulfillment, and it even makes me more thankful for the time I had when I think about that,
Yeah.
For this special time, as you name it, and yeah, it makes me very thankful. And on the other side, it excites me to still find things that give me fulfillment in life. Yeah.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah. Do you have any other questions?
Not at the moment. Maybe we can talk again one day.
Definitely.
Moment, it was very, very inspiring talking with you, and also interesting for me getting those questions asked and answering them.
Yeah.
Seeing also your opinions and your thoughts and your feelings after your skiing career. It was very, very inspiring. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, likewise. Thank you. Thank you so much for your time and also for opening up, because I know it's not easy to sometimes talk about your feelings. And yeah, thank you for your time, and I'm very excited what's gonna happen with this project, and yeah.